Acceptance does not mean letting go of responsibility.
Not at all, never.
Yeah. So because that is a question.
Self-acceptance means doing the best you can
Yeah. Yeah.
and being okay with the parts that you can't.
Which you can't. So
That is what. And I think another thing, I'm sorry, I
no,
interrupted you.
please continue.
Uh, yeah, another thing that I find with self-acceptance is, like you said, the pressure from social media and the fear that social media, the media, your friends, people around you, everyone's opinion, the world and its wife has an opinion. Okay, दूध मत पियो, कैंसर हो जाएगा, नमक मत खाओ, ब्लड प्रेशर हो जाएगा, रोड पे मत जाओ, कुछ हो जाएगा, शादी मत करो, डिवोर्स हो जाएगा, पैदा मत हो, मर जाओगे. You know, currently COVID ho jayega. We all know very little. Even the experts know very little.
Oh.
Look at the universe. So we know the best that we know. So you must at some point also, I think in the interest of self-awareness, accept the things you don't know and get, like you said, samajh aana chahiye. Get the basic knowledge that you can. Like for Corona, I was never paranoid about it. On the other hand, I'm extremely careful.
Yeah.
So when the rumor mill started and, when all the WhatsApp forwards started happening, I stopped reading them. I completely stopped reading them. That I do not want my information from Facebook and from Twitter and from WhatsApp. I want my information from the scientists. So I started Googling, I started searching who's doing research on it, who's managing it, who are the frontline workers, who are the people who've had it, who can I speak to?
Right.
If I can, if I can't, I can still read their work. I can still follow them. Similarly, for someone who got 23 out of 100 in math, what do? I look at Excel sheets all day. I'm not an MBA. I had, until 12 years ago, I didn't know what the hell an Excel sheet is. I didn't need it. I was an actor and a writer. I didn't need an Excel sheet. Today, what do? I look at Excel sheets all day. I search, I work it out, I figure out how to make the Excel sheet work. Now, in my 30s, late 30s, I was not ready to start doing an MBA. Not that I was ever going to get into it. Okay, no, I couldn't have done accounts. I was the girl with 23 out of 100 in maths. I was never going to get through to any of those courses. So I wasn't going to get a job as a trainee where someone would teach me. What was left to me? No one around me knew it. To start figuring out how I was going to learn. I again started following people online, just practicing, figuring it out. The computer's a wonderful thing. You can make mistakes and then go back and correct them and learn. It'll guide you. The internet, it sets you free as much as it traps you.
Yeah,
You know, when you have a thirst for knowledge, it sets you free. So you have to figure out how to learn. So you must also chase down knowledge on things that you need to know as a person for yourself. If you want to look at makeup videos because that's what excites you, go for it. If you want to look at fashion, go for it. Photography, businesses, whatever it is that excites you, you have to go for it. That's the way to set yourself free. That's another big way to accept yourself, that I don't always have to be intellectual. I don't, need to be reading great literature at all times. I know a 12-year-old who's right now reading Lord of the Flies. Okay, I still haven't read it.
Yeah,
and it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I've read Lord of the Rings. I don't know if my children will ever read it. It's fine. So it's also to find what works for you. Be the best version of yourself. If you are not a person who does makeup as a woman, you don't have to learn it. It's all right. If you are not a person who wants to be CEO of a company, it's all right. Everyone doesn't need to bungee jump and scuba dive and free fall. We're all free falling enough in life without putting that pressure on ourselves.
Okay. My
So,
question to
well,
you,
I don't know if I answered the question. I just rambled on. Like
yeah,
I said, I love to talk, so I
it's good
talk.
rambling on. I just hope a lot of episodes go in the same manner. Uh, my question to you is: this seems a little too in place, has fallen in place for you, and you know what is being done or what should be done. Seemingly so. If I were an audience and watching this, I would say, Matlab, this is what I try and not do on the podcast is show success stories because it does not matter to me. I like the vulnerability part of it. So I want to actually know what is the mind space of uh, access that you did where you could accept the fact that you are okay with failing. Besides the parents that you had, has there been a time in your adult life? Now I want to bring it to adult life because by then you are supposed to be sorted.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have been, you were sorted, you reached a place and you realize that you're going against the tide is your style. Yet there would be times when you would be failing and there will be enough number of people around you telling you that you're not sorted about this thing. When the night was darkest, how did you convince yourself not to get overwhelmed by it? Any episodes, any
Okay.
examples?
Uh, Firstly, I still have people who tell me I'm scattered and not sorted. That is absolutely true. I
It's a
am very
compliment.
scattered. I'm completely disorganized. My head, I have a monkey mind. Uh, well, my parents, of course, I don't think they knew they were parenting. You know, parenting didn't exist. They just let you grow up. So, and my dad loves to talk, so we would have long chats. So my parents went a long way. I did well in school. I was decent at sports. I could act. I could debate. Got into a fabulous college with great marks. I don't know how. I think one of the things that I must admit over here, while I come across as sounding very sorted, is that I'm still not sorted. No one is. You can't be. And that's one of the things that you have to accept yourself because life throws you a curveball constantly. How can you be prepared? You can't be. And I have drifted all my life. I have drifted, and that is how I have discovered my passions or things that make me happy. They haven't necessarily made me successful in the worldly terms. I don't have a BMW. I don't have a 7,000 foot square foot house yet. Okay, so not necessarily worldly terms. I still face those dark days when something doesn't go right and you say, oh God, nothing's going right for me and how am I going to work this out? It happens for everyone. Each project is a new one. So I drifted into college. I was never thinking that I'm going to go to LSR because I have to achieve this. I wasn't, it happened. I did not really study for my exams. I drifted into LSR, from where I drifted into acting. I drifted into theater because I got punished in college. My punishment was that you can't get out of the hostel for 3 months, so you have to rehearse to the play. So I drifted into acting. I drifted into theater. I drifted to Bombay, came to meet a friend. So pretty much aimlessly. So if I were to admit, even today, I'm pretty aimless. I don't have those aims of, by the time I'm 45, I should be doing this, and by the time I'm 50, I'm going to do this, and 55, I want to retire. I have no idea. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. I was making plans to do absolutely nothing. And in the bargain, I have enjoyed every one of them. I drifted into writing. I drifted into talking about relationships. I drifted into forming Footloose No More. Drifted into filmmaking. Drifted into my marriage. Literally drifted into it without overthinking. Because analysis paralysis is what kills you. You do so much soul searching. You think about it so much. You weigh the pros and cons so much, while sometimes you just need to be a fool. Jump into it. It's the 50-50 funda. You'll fail or you'll pass. It's okay. One of the two will happen. What's the worst that'll happen? You'll fail. What's the other thing that'll happen? You'll have a mediocre marriage. That's not so bad. A mediocre marriage, a mediocre life is wonderful. Because what does that mean? That means you wake up in the morning, you live your life peacefully, go do your work, come back home, eat your food, spend with your children, complain about the little things, the wet towels on the floor, ye dusting nahi kiya, I don't like this food, read your book, go to sleep, wake up in the morning and repeat. Take your annual holiday. Why is that not wonderful? It is wonderful. Why must we be pushed to be achievers every single day? And to search your souls, you don't need to search your souls. You know your soul. You don't have to do it. What is the big excitement about? How do you create excitement? What is society leading us to believe? That to create excitement, you must put up fabulous photographs of your last holiday in Greece, and then now I'm off to Paris. Oh, I'm wearing a Chanel, and have you looked at my DKNY bag? And there's my BMW. My life is very exciting. There's so much drama. One man comes into my life, the other goes out. Now I have two girls fighting over me, and oh my God, my child. Oh God, that sounds like a nightmare. It sounds horrible. Why do you need that? I don't care what I'm wearing. I've actually worn a 50 rupee dress which I picked up from a pile to someone's wedding. What does it matter? And believe it or not, it was a celebrity wedding. And I've been asked by everyone, who are you wearing? And I wasn't wearing anyone. I was wearing Manish Market pile. What does it matter? I still got invited to the wedding. I still had a blast. I still look nice. I look like me. So this entire analysis paralysis that society and the gurus push on you, that you must think and you must weigh your pros and cons and you must know what you want. No, some of the most interesting people, some of the most fun people, and some of the most successful people I know are people who have drifted, who have just accepted it, and who have gone on in life. On the other hand, like I said, I have always drifted. I have had a lot of very dark nights where I've wondered what I'm doing while my friends are receiving awards and driving their BMWs and bringing up their children. I'm single, wondering what to do with myself, and then look at the whole thing. Look at the body of work. Forget everything else. In not having any ambition, in not being so planned, in not having those goals that at 30 I have to have 2 children and I have to be vice president, I think, had the most amount of fun. And as for looking at social media and looking at photos of that beautiful gown that someone is wearing, or the lovely bag, or the lovely holiday in Greece, uh, I have those pictures on my social media, which people see and say, "Oh, how wonderful!" What we're not seeing is the 3 a.m. fight,
Yeah.
the sleepless nights, the not achieving what you want to achieve, the failure, the client not paying up, worrying where you're going to pay your next EMI from. No one's putting those up. So what we're getting pushed into is being a bunch of people who are living from one credit card bill to the other.
Yeah.
So we've got to know what it is. And if that is the achievement you want, then that's fabulous.
Yeah,
That's who you
again,
are.
there is no
That's what you
judgment.
need to know. Yeah, you need to know that. That needs to be your soul searching. The only soul searching you need to do is to make you happy. So if it is the DKNY bag that's making you happy, go for it. If going for Vipassana is making you happy, go for it. It doesn't matter. It's no one is more or less because of what they do, or what they own, or what they don't own.
I
I